And our match referee, as he's been all day since 9 o'clock this morning, Nigel Reese. He'll be wearing out some shoe leather.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
But I know he brought a change of socks.
Good luck. Play with it.
Yeah, I'm sure Nigel will be glad to see the back of this match. But he's a true pro. And Shane wins the lag.
Shane, you got a lag.
Can he put a run of packs together?
Whenever you're ready.
He'll do well to top what Jason Shaw's just done, but this is Shane Van Boening we're talking about. And Shane starts off with a dry break, so it's fairly unusual for SVB.
Pretty good containing shot right there. Looked about as awkward queuing over that 4-ball as humanly possible, and got an ideal result.
Yeah, Johann Chua from the Philippines. He's a top player. Is the cue ball going to spin in behind the 2? Tried, but he's left an edge. Another Filipino, Jeffrey Ignacio, is tied 9-9 against Marco Spitzke from Germany. Johann just trying to duck behind the red 3-ball in the centre of the table.
Well, the first chance in this opening rack falling to the Filipino.
Yeah, a very difficult safety shot that. He knew the 1-ball weren't really going in an obvious safe position, so he just tried to leave distance. And now we get to have a look at Chua. Chen Seming is 5-1 down to Lu Haitao. So she's got it all to do there. I believe Johann spends a fair bit of his time across the pond now in the States, playing in many events. I believe he's won a few of the club events over here, so Shane knows he's got his hands full here. He knows the class of Johann Chua. And there you see, beautiful positional shot. Didn't have much room and he's landed perfect. Shane nods with kind of acknowledgement there, excuse me. late in the day for big words like that, Jim. You said before, Jim, a couple of Filipinos left in the winners' side, but there's still a lot of them left in the losers' bracket. They're all still lurking.
The opener goes to Johann. It was a solid safety foray that laid the foundation for that rack win, and Darren Appleton trying to extract the mistake here from Wu.
Yeah, he's off the board, so good safety shot there. Fairly tough to hit. He's got to go off this top rail with a bit of right hand spin. Needs to try and get back in that match. Wu Cha-Ching's a monster. Chris Mellon in the distance has come back from 9-5 down. It's now 9-8 to Dennis Graves, so he's back in that match. Jeffrey Ignacio is the first man on the hill. He's 10-9 up in that game. So did Wu get lucky and leave it safe? Difficult to see if Darren can chop this ball in. I think he can he, Jim? Needs his cue ball to bounce. Well, that's not going to work unless... Anyway, we'll come back to that match, keep you updated.
Shane doesn't want to get too comfortable in that chair.
Now we get to have a look, see how Johann Chua's attacking this rack of 9 balls. So Johann's elected to put a lot of spin on the cue ball and tee the 1 ball up on the right hand side of the table, and he's done that to perfection. Another young Filipino, Jim, James Aranas. He wins 11-8 over Josh Roberts, so he's still going. He lost early on, so he's putting a good charge together in the losers section. He will go into losers round 5. Filipinos, Jim, they've produced some wonderful players over the years, haven't they?
Well, they sent a few advanced scouts in the 70s and early 80s. And obviously the message back home was it's a land of fortune.
I wonder if the great Efren Reyes is tuning in.
No, The likes of Jose Perica and Efren. They were the front runners of this army of talented young Filipinos that now make their way to American soil, stake their claim. 2-0. Chua, a break and run out. And there's one thing about this culture that impresses me is these guys don't take their losses too seriously. I mean, with a lot of them, you can't tell if they've ever won or lost. Niels Fine. He's up against Imran Majid on that table. It's a high-powered clash as well. All coming to you from fabulous Las Vegas. The Mandalay Bay Hotel and Resort, for the first time hosting the US Open 9-Ball Championship.
So we've seen a successful break the last time, but it's dry this time, so Shane will get to the table. What kind of shots are he going to have? Not a very inviting one, to say the least, but at least he's at the table. So he plays safe, doesn't hook Johann. He had a lot of all the balls to get behind there. I think he was trying to just get over towards this orange 5 ball. Johann's just going to try and bump this 1 ball back up table, but he's double kissed and gone in off. It's a poor mistake, and it gives SVB ball in hand, Jim.
And as we see this shot again, just slightly misjudged from Chua. Now I'm looking for some problems on the table, and to be fair, I don't see any. 4-5, but shouldn't present too much in the way of trouble. He's got the angle on the 3 to just follow through and get up for the 4, but from 4-5 really.
So this is just a chance SVB needed, and it's gone wrong. He's played a poor positional shot. He was trying to just miss that 6, coming to open play.
Well, I said, Carl, if there was going to be one problem area, it was going to be from the 4 to the 5. And sadly for Shane, those words, well, not the worst result though.
Well, yeah, I would have thought that cue ball was going to fall then, but it stayed up, so that's not bad for Shane, that.
And you can see that cue ball just hanging over the edge. If that ball fell, it would be respotted.
Foul shot, ball in hand.
Considerably easier than his last visit.
So Jim, SVB made the positional error, kicked, got a little bit lucky, it has to be said. But the main thing is the scoreline, and it's 2-1 to Johann Chua. Shane will break, and he's going to try and get this break going, you feel.
Yeah, back to the struggles for Darren Appleton against former world champion Wu Cha-Ting. And looking very much like it's going to go 7-1.
Just in the distance, you see Dennis Grave at the table. He's leading Chris Mellin 10-8. So Dennis is on the hill. Difficult to see if he's got a chance in that rack, of course. So there you see it plays safe. So Mellin back at the table. Wu Cha-Ting rattles the 8, but it fell in. So it looks like 7-1.
Yeah, 7-1 it is. And in the far distance, Alex Pagulayan up against Chin Shun Yang. Great player from the Far East as well. And currently Alex enjoying a 5-3 advantage there. And Shane Van Boening looking very much like he's going to tie this one up.
Yeah, that was a big break from Shane. Of course, this year we're using the AccuRack system, and that's to try and give every player a fair rack to get all the balls touching. And most of the pros on tour prefer to use that, so there's no manipulating the rack and kind of cheating the rack.
Yeah, always been a bone of contention, really, the rack in 9-ball, hasn't it, Carl? Even probably for you guys. It's nice to get something in there that just kind of levels the playing field.
Yeah, I think over the years, certainly in America, when people have been racking the balls with the triangle, certain gaps in the rack can help you make a ball, and you can even make the 9-ball quite regular with leaving certain gaps. So this is a leveler, and there's a skill to this break, there's no doubt about it. As you see, Wu Cha-Ting comes up dry, doesn't make the 1-ball. As we've seen on the arena many times, you can make that 1-ball if you hit it correctly. So I do believe, in my opinion, this is the fairest way to rack the 9 balls. Darren, no shot on the 1, so has to play a push. Wu's played safe, tried to put the one ball in behind that cluster of balls. Not quite got there.
Yeah, a chance for Darren here to try and duck behind that same cluster. Not easy though. Back to Van Boening, see if he can give us an instant replay of that last break. And he really does have one of the best breaks in the game. He'll take that every day.
Ko Pin-Yee's making light work of Evo Hearts. He leads 10 racks to 3. Big player, Ko Pin-Yee. No surprise to see him in winners round 4. So Shane 2-2 in the balls. It's a good opportunity.
Just straight follow, right hand spin, play the 5 bottom right. And he looks to have dropped perfectly on it to play the other side for the 6 to the other corner. He's got that long fluid action, Shane. And he really does get that cue ball to move around effortlessly.
Six ball took a rattle, didn't it? But it's gone.
And that's 2 break and runouts to get Shane 3-2 in front. Looking for an unprecedented 6th U.S. Open title. He and Earl Strickland both hold 5. Trying to maintain that high level of focus and concentration that's required at this level of competition.
There we see Niels Feijen 3-1 up in that match. That's a winner's side match, don't forget. They see Shane makes the 1 ball in the side, so that's the intended break off.
Shane gets that break working. Just like Jason Shaw showed you in the previous match. You just sit down and watch. because all of a sudden you assume the most helpless position in the arena.
Shane doing what he does best, taking advantages of his chances. So the 7 passes the 9.
Wants a bit of angle here. And I think he's got a little.
So it's going to be 4-2 SVB. On one of the outside tables, Chris Mellon has won 2 racks on the spin. That match is now Hill-Hill. 10-10 versus Dennis Grabe.
Thank you.
Neil still 3-1 up. I know we've got Neil's fine on the table here, but I'm just looking over at the Chris Mellon match because he's broke off. Both players jumped up because I do believe Chris has got a dead 3-9 combo, but he has to play a jump shot on the 2 ball. I can just see it in the distance, so I know I'm ignoring this match on your screen, but it's because I'm watching the other one. SVB crunches the break. 1 ball goes in the side, but he's no shot. So Johann Chua will be back to the table.
Yeah, very useful package though, put together by the South Dakota kid. And if nothing else, he's let Chua know that
Push out called.
he's in for a tussle. So he's elected to push out here.
Wow. I'm sorry, Jim. I've just looked over at Chris Mellon. He's tried to go off the top rail to play the 3-9 combo, and he's missed the ball altogether. So it looks like Dennis Grabe should make this 3-9 combo. It must be dead set, otherwise Chris wouldn't have played it. I'm getting carried away here in Vegas, folks. I'm looking all around the room. It's all going on.
Well, obviously Shane, you know, pushing out and leading this shot for Chua. Well, he must like trying to kick this in. Or was it just always going to be a little poker? It was always a bluff.
Quick update, folks. Table 22, Dennis Gray made that combination, so Chris Mellin, the fans' favourite, is out of this year's US Open.
Extension called.
And quickly using his extension. Let's take a little extra time. This is a big moment here. He's won the last 4 racks in a row.
Yeah, it has to be said, Jim, when Johann was 2-0 up, Shane did get a nice little roll, didn't he, where it looked like he was going to scratch, and it kind of turned the match. Shane kicks at the 2, doesn't leave Johann Chua an inviting shot, does he? So he's playing safe. Crucial point to this match now.
And you look top of the table at a 4-9 combination that looks dead set as well. So just puts a little bit more significance on this 2 and 3 to follow.
Yeah, he's trying to pocket this 2 in the side, and it's close, and it's there, but he's been unlucky this time. Cue ball runs down table. Big news just in, Carlo Biardo, many people's picks, is out of the tournament as well. He loses 11-7 to Thomas Kaplan. That's kind of a shock result, but Thomas can play. It's bye-bye Biardo. Shane Van Boening. The cool gods are on your side at the moment, it has to be said. As he smiles, he knows. Wu Cha Ching is 8-1 up over Darren Appleton, the former 2-time champion. He's in a bit of a spot there.
Well, anything you can do. That was a great kick shot exhibited from Chua there.
So that was a good hit from Shane, good 2-rail kick. And he's left distance, so that's good news. I'm not sure if I think Johann can get to the pot here, but very difficult shot because cue ball's near the rail and distance.
Shot. Ball in hand.
That will prove conclusive. With ball in hand, Shane's going to be able to weave this cue ball around the angles and drop right behind that 4-9 combination.
Yeah, he could do with the cue ball landing exactly on the top rail, and that is absolutely perfect. If he doesn't land on the top rail, it could have been a little bit awkward. So great positional play there from SVB. Don't forget, he was 2-0 down in this match. He's won the last 5 racks, and we're taking a timeout. And there we see the 16-year-old former world 9-ball champion. He was just 16 when he won that. That's incredible. He's 9-1 up. Appleton, if he doesn't come back in this match, he's going to have to win 3 straight matches in the losers bracket to qualify.
The fountains at the Bellagio, dancing to the tunes. Now, I wonder which one of these players is going to be dancing to his own tune come Friday evening. Who's going to hoist the Barry Berman Trophy as the 2019 US Open champion?
Your buddy from Canada, Alex Pagulayan, is 8-3 up over Yang Ching Shun. Alex sneaking under the radar.
Sneaking under whose radar?
Well, I mean, because he's not played on the TV and kind of not really been speaking about him, have we? I'm sure you've had him in the back of your thoughts though, Jim.
I was there when he won the world title.
Yeah, that was
Taipei.
incredible, wasn't it? When he lost in the final the year before to then come back and win it. That's another great cool story. Chen Simeng, 8-3 down to Lu Haitao. She's got it all to do. Petri Makinen, 10-5 up over Toru Kurabayashi from Japan. That will put him in round 4 of the winners bracket.
Well, good sound break. Getting that one into the side. Got a chance at the 2. And it comes with what looks like natural position to the 3. Not the easiest 2.
Yeah, it's quite a tricky rack, this 2-3, 4-5. His throat with problems as well because it only goes in the top right hand pocket. Something about Shane though and Jason, they've got that breakdown, haven't they, where they're so consistent at hitting a good break shot. And if you can keep hitting a good break, you're going to get opportunities, aren't you?
Very similar players in how they approach 9-ball too. Very attacking, unwavering, both brilliant shot makers, and obviously both very good under pressure.
Yeah, I think the only difference between them is I think Jason's probably more of a natural potter of the ball. It comes a bit easier, and I think Shane's a bit more cleverer. He's got a better cue ball as well, you know, when the balls are tricky, a bit like this shot now. Jason can be a bit loose on this type of shot because your cue ball's got to be so tight, as where Shane seems to, he's got a knack of making difficult situations look really easy. Exactly like that. What a shot that is.
Had no room for error there. And right on cue, Carl.
Yeah, I knew he won't let me down there. But he seems to do it at the crucial points and all. It's 5-2. He's faced with a tricky layout. You know, if he doesn't run the balls out, it's 5-3. Johann to break. He couldn't get back in the match, but now this is going to be 6-2 with Shane to break, so he like sort of kills you all the time.
Well, doesn't look like Chua's timeout did anything to distract Shane or take him out of rhythm. He looked as solid there, and 6-2. And now confirmed.
So Appleton's won another rack. He's at the table, 9-2. You feel like he's got to try and put a bit of a package together, 4 or a 5 pack, to get back in this match. Can be done, of course. Not when you're missing them, no. Jeffrey the Bull De Luna is on the hill. He's 10-3 up in his match. Simen Cheng wins another rack. She's 8-4 down to Lu Hai Tao. Torsten Oman, the hitman, tied at 6-6 against Ko Ping Chung. That's Ko Ping Yi's little brother. Billy Thorpe is losing 3-1 to Chang Young Lin. There we see again the SVB break. Hits it good and gets rewarded. I'm telling you, if you hit this break shot good, exactly like that, you see where the cue ball come with a bit of spin, you get rewarded. This, folks, is the best break format in 9-ball pool.
Well, depending how he plays this too, the 3 does have an open pocket. And just got to get back over the left-hand side of the table. Judge the speed very nicely.
Yep, another example there where he could have easily overrun the cue ball there, and then he'd have been chasing to get on the 4.
Most pool fans that have been around the game know that Shane Van Boening wears a hearing aid, and when he's in matches, he turns it off. So no distractions, certainly noise distractions.
Yeah, that's right, Jim. So I think he's landed a bit straight on this 4 ball, so he's going to have to manufacture something. Elects to just roll the 4 ball in, must have been too straight. He's going to play a bank shot into this pocket where he's just potted the 4 ball. And he's missed it. Surely the 5's not going to go in, and it's not. So Johann Chua will get back to the table. A mistake from SVB. Quite a good shot, that, whenever the object ball is in the pocket. Sometimes difficult to judge.
That's a miss hit. Yeah, he's having a little word with himself there. Yeah, sometimes you get these players when they spend a good deal of the time in the seat, just don't, there's so much based on rhythm, and now he's got to defend, overcut this 8. And he didn't intend contacting the 9 either, so.
Yeah, that was a sort of example where cue ball had to be pace perfect, excuse me, and that's where Shane comes into his own, because he always seems to get on the right side of the ball. So Johann Chua was 2-0 up. He has lost the last 7, and Wu Cha-Ching 10-2 up. Seems to have been a very one-sided match, this one, and he has played a shocker there. He's an absolute mile away from the 7. Wants to be in the middle of the table. I'm sure Darren at 10-2 probably wished he'd have just landed on this and regroup and focus on winning 3 matches. At least he's there and thereabouts. 3 matches in the losers section is more than achievable. That was a nice strike though, good recovery. Wu Cha-Ching goes through to the winners qualification round.
Yeah, convincing win over former US Open champion Darren Appleton. Torsten Homan and Ko Ping Chung, 7 apiece.
Again, the 1 ball flies in the middle pocket, and that is because the cue ball is coming exactly across table, right onto that diamond there. You could see it. That's what's causing that 1 ball to go in the side. If you hit that ball too thin or too fat, that ball will not go in. It's a highly skillful break. Try it at home, folks, or in your local club. See how many times you can make that 1 ball in the side using the Accurac. Wow, that's a clever shot. Many people, including myself, thought he was going to spin that in the middle with right hand spin to go up table, but he knew he could get a good lock up there, didn't he, Jim?
No, he really is keeping the handcuffs on Johann. Won the last 7 racks in a row. It's a tough hit. And if he doesn't hit it, he's going to be facing 8-2.
Foul shot. Ball in hand.
So the patience and the safety shot has paid off in rack 10. Quite incredible to think he's won 8 racks on the spin against an opponent like Johann Chua. Also, just moving forward, thinking ahead a little, if Shane and Jason and Ko Ping-yi and Chang Junlin all qualify through the winner's side, they can't play each other in the last 16. Because I presume they'll be doing the 8 winners against the 8 losers. I'm going to double check that actually. That's what we usually do.
The beautiful city of Las Vegas, Nevada. Tough to avoid the distractions when you come with the sole purpose of winning the US Open 9-ball title. But that's exactly what all these top players have to fade. They're not on holiday. They're on the job.
Yeah, I was correct, Jim. Just had it confirmed off the gaffer. It's 8 winners against the 8 losers from. So it's the 8 guys who come through the winners bracket. They will be drawn against the 8 guys who come from the losers bracket.
Which really doesn't mean anything because there's as many champions in the losers bracket as there are the winners bracket.
Yeah, but it's kind of nice that you're not going to draw Shane or, you know, the big hitters in the last 16. It means there's a chance for the big boys. Look at the little flick there as well. Just knock the 1 ball onto this side rail so he can play the combo. I think it's the brown 7 that helps it. That's very useful. And it's not what Johann Chua would have liked to have seen.
A little disappointed in how that one turned out. Didn't quite judge that one correctly. But again, he's got the opportunity to play a very aggressive safety.
Yeah, so he bumped into the 3. Didn't want to because he was trying to get back down table.
There'll be no safeties for Shane Van Boening. Not if there's a shot available.
Beautiful shot there, played it with left-hand spin, so that makes the pot a lot harder. Trusting on a little bit of luck when you're travelling that far. You can't always guarantee good position.
You can just tell by his body language, Carl. He wants to fire at this too.
I don't think it goes in the corner, so he's going to be dropping this in the side, ultra slow. Nearly made it, didn't he? Just caught near jaw, so I think he's left bank shot. There you see Johann Chua trying to play the bank, but he's missed it. Can Shane pocket this ball without scratching in the side? Watch where the cue ball goes. So just at the point.
Cruel. Teasingly cruel.
Yeah, he's teasing his opponent with that one, wasn't he? So everything at the minute. This won't scratch Shane, don't worry. It'll stop just before that knuckle. Well, has it? It has. So he's all right. At the minute, everything SVB is doing, he's working out just about perfect. As he lands on the kind of 50-yard line of this, but I don't think it'll cause him too many problems.
And it doesn't. The SVP motor continues on towards the finish line. 9 on the spin. And he certainly wrested control from Johann Chua and has not relinquished it. Chua's had a couple opportunities, but they've been half chances at best.
Chen Siming has made a little bit of a fight back in her match. She trails just 9-6 now. She was 8-2 down in that game, so, and she's at the table, so she's hanging on in there.
Well, Johann is going to be coming back to the table at 3, coming in to create the total eclipse as far as a shot to the 2 goes.
Push out cold.
So as Shane just figures out where he wants to push this cue ball to. Little results just coming in. Joshua Filler, the current world 9-ball champion. He's into the losers bracket. He loses to Shu Kai Lun from Taiwan. Dennis Hatch, 10-2 up over Chris Alexander, the hatchet man, doing well. So Johann decides to go for this 2-ball and misses it. So Shane needs one good shot here, striking down on the cue ball, anywhere in the middle of the table, and you would think this will be rack over and he'll be on the hill. Just these 4 balls, elementary finish for the 5-time champion. And this is a case of when, not if. This will be Shane's 10th rack on the spin. He was 2-0 down. Chen Simeng still at the table. She just trails 9-6, so good fight back going on there.
And the hill arrives for Van Boening. As matches are winding down on the outside tables, so too does Van Boening see a conclusion, possibly a very early one, in sight here. Dennis Hatch completing the victory, 11-2 over Alexander. Chang Yu Lung, 10-4 over Aloysius Yap. Niels Fine, 5-4 over Majid. Billy Thorpe, another American, 6-3 over Chang Jung-Lin. So Thorpe and Dennis Hatch carrying the stars and stripes pretty high. Yeah, changed sides, but equally effective. One still into the side pocket, and he's got a chance at the 2. And I don't know whether the 4 and 7 are offering a combination at the top end of the table, possibly. Well, an uncharacteristic open miss from the 5-time US Open champ. You know, possibly if that 5-7 are not on, that's what Johann is looking at now. That might be the insurance policy for Shane Van Boening in this rack.
Yeah, and the 4-ball looks like he can combo onto the 8 or drop in behind it. He tried to flick the 5 out there. Kind of knew if he did flick the 5, he would be on the 3.
going to be a series of combinations, I feel, here. Because he's not going to be able to get behind the 4, so it's going to be a 4-8 combination as well as a 5-7.
Yeah, it's not easy for Johann when you're 10-2 down in a race to 11. You don't really feel like you can come back in the match. Tried to break him open, didn't he? And he might just give these a whack. What do you do, Jim? 10-2 down.
Well, he had a look at playing it cushion first to try and make the 7. Is he going to try and play the snooker? Very thin hit.
Very inventive shot there. Fair play to Johann. Would have been very easy to kind of give up on that shot at the score line, so it's nice to see he's still playing the correct shots and digging in. Of course, SVB 2 rails kicks the 5 in. Chen Siming lost that rack, so she's 10-6 down. She's got it all to do. Shane needs this 7 to slow down, otherwise he's left it. And it gets from bad to worse for Johann Chua. Wins the first 2 racks in this matches and then loses 11 straight. SVB advances to the winners qualification match. Very solid performance as usual.
So Shane joins his countryman Dennis Hatch, remaining undefeated. And Johann Chua is going to have to fight his way back from the B side. Lots to play for still here in Vegas.
Great win there for Shane van Boening, who has looked like he's been in great form since the start. Of course, a 5-time winner of the US Open 9-ball championship. Let's just go through these results before we speak to Shane. Alvin Ushan winning earlier on, straight away on table 1. Skylar Woodward out after his 11-5 victory. Wu Chi Wei went through 11-6. Chen Siming went through as well. So did Kevin Cheng as well. Naoki Oi still in it after an 11-5 win. Jason Chua was magnificent in his 11-1 victory, and Shane Van Boening, who is with me now, has just beaten Johann Chua 11-2. Okay, Shane, congratulations on that victory. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good are you playing at the moment?
I am probably playing about 9.
Yeah, so only a little bit more room for improvement at the moment. It doesn't look like...
Yeah, the only improvement I can make is, you know, maybe the cue ball control and especially the long shots.
And you've got, well, one more win will see you into the last 16. So do you kind of see tomorrow as possibly even a practice day for the last 16, just to get you from 9 to 10?
Yeah, I'm going to do, you know, whatever I can do to win, you know, so I'm just used to, you know, practicing real hard and doing the same routine and, you know, just do what I do.
How much does it help that you have won this tournament 5 times already? I know different format, different venues and stuff, but it must help having that experience under pressure.
Well, I mean, especially when I won the U.S. Open back in 2007, you know, that was the biggest tournament that I ever win, you know, and especially in this format, the winner break format, you know, I can catch on a roll. And, you know, some people can't stop me, you know, when I'm playing good. So it's, you know, it's all about the break and getting a good feel of the table and catch a good routine.
Right, well, Shane, congratulations. You've looked on fire today. And, of course, if you make that 9 into a 10, you may well be winning it for a 6th time. Thank you, Shane. OK, on day 1, 256 players started in this tournament. This time tomorrow, only 16 will remain. See you then.